Wow, you just never know. David Morrell catches a body and then gets accused of the unthinkable in boxing. His opponent comes out and says that he believes that David Morrell is suspicious and he's a DRUG cheat. He's in denial about the knockout. I'm gonna just break down what happened, what was said in this video. Let's talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Cuban boxer, undefeated, David Morrell Jr. continues to impress, delivering yet another knockout in sensational fashion. This fight did not last long. It was the final Showtime card. You know, I want to give a congratulations to Showtime. They gave us many, many memories, and they went out with the bang. The El Rayo fight versus Chris Colbert Part 2 was fire. I really enjoyed the fight, and I'm going to do a breakdown on that. I know a lot of people have been asking me about my opinion on that particular fight, so make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel for that breakdown. As far as David Morrell, main event, the Armory is his second home. He's from Cuba. That's his second home, and he delivered another knockout in the second round. He looked very sharp. Round one, he didn't waste any time. He was letting his hands go, some good straight lefts, but he really opened it up in round two, and he landed a nasty uppercut, and it was highly impressive stuff, right? One person that doesn't seem so impressed is the opponent, Sena Egbeko. And Egbeko did an interview with Fight Hype, and he's basically accusing David Morrell of being suspicious, him and his team, and having something to hide. He even said, the question was like, do you think he's on something? And he says, yes, I believe that David Morrell Jr. is doing something. He's on something. He says he signed up for WADA testing, and at no point in the fight or before the fight was there any kind of drug testing. So he's like, that's not on the up and up. And he believes that David Morrell Jr. and his team are fishy, suspicious, something is amiss. And he's basically alluding and insinuating to some kind of PED usage. Now, my honest opinion, I thought Egbeko was a bit all over the place. Like, subscribe, and also hit the bell notification for all your boxing news so you do not miss a thing. Egbeko, to me, he definitely seemed a bit all over the place. He was, in 1 minute, he was saying that he believes, he was asked, and he was saying he believes that David Morrell is using and on gear and loaded up, and he's saying it's unfair. But then later parts of the interview, he was saying that he's not saying that David Morrell is officially on something, but it looks fishy. So that just seems like a little bit too much. That's really a heavy crown for you to throw around. And, you know, that's a bold accusation to say, oh, David Morrell's on gear, he's on steroids, he's on PEDs, and that's why I got knocked out. You have no proof of it. And then you're kind of walking it back a little bit by saying you're not sure, it just looks suspicious. I mean, and then he even referenced another fighter who's suing Al Heyman, and this was going on because David Morrell knocked him out too. It was the guy that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. also fought. But here's the thing. You knew all this stuff before the fight because that lawsuit was before the Morrell last fight on the final Showtime card. So you still accepted this fight. So you wait till you get knocked out in the second round, and then you say, oh, I think the guy's on something, or they didn't properly test us, or whatever the case is, and then you reference. So obviously you knew this piece of data that Al Heyman and David Morrell were named in a lawsuit from the Corceras dude, or whatever the dude, I forgot his name off top. I think it's Mario something. So you knew that boxer was suing him, and you still took the fight. And then you wait till you get knocked out in the second round and make it an issue. That just seems a bit weird. So you're pointing the finger and saying it's suspicious. Then in pointing to the interview, you're saying that you believe he's on something. So that's just a heavy crown to put on somebody with no type of proof. The other reason why I said it was all over the place is because Ikebeko, in this particular interview, what he said was he's not the biggest guy, and David Morrell and the Benavideses of the world, these super middleweights, are really big. So he's admitting that these guys are really big, comparatively speaking to him. So he was like, I think I'm going to drop back down in weight to 160 pounds. And he even said in this interview, I might even go to 154 pounds. So at that point, it's like, which one is it? You lost because somebody's on gear and you're accusing them of doing something with no proof, or you're not the biggest super middleweight and you can't compete with these big guys, so you need to move down in weight. Furthermore, like I said throughout this video, if the issue was really truly, yo, I think he's on something, I mean, for your health, for your safety, why would you even take the fight? You know, why not call to action? I mean, he's literally saying in this interview that David Morrell, he wanted to fight in Vegas, but David Morrell, he's basically saying that the rules are different in Minnesota or Minneapolis or wherever they're fighting. And that's basically his sanctuary or safe haven because the testing protocols are different. And he was promised that there would be testing, and then there really wasn't any testing. So, I mean, it sounds bad, to be honest. This is why I think fighters should really not, or really consider not, doing interviews after they've been badly knocked out. He looked concussed during the fight. He got knocked out bad. I'm sure it's embarrassing. He even admitted that. He said, I have a lot of emotions flowing through right now, and he's going to have to give a long think to his career and what his next move is. But it's just, I don't think fighters who sustain that type of punishment and get knocked out in that fashion, I don't really think they should do a bunch of interviews. Say, hey, man, I'll catch you later, or hit me up on the gram, we'll schedule it later. But I think you should really, truly try to shake the cobwebs, clear your head, go get checked up by the docs, because it seemed emotional to me. Like, you're really gonna accuse him of being on PEDs. And I'm not naive. I know people are secretly on PEDs and using in the sport of boxing, but just to outright proclaim that because you got knocked out, that kind of sounds like an excuse, especially if you have no other proof. Because he's saying, oh, they said there's going to be WADA testing, but then where was it? You know, if you have it in your contract, where was WADA? You know, how is it just a David Morrell issue? You know, maybe it was an issue of the promoter, or WADA didn't come out. I mean, I don't know. I don't know all the details. I don't know what he signed up for, but that just seems like a lot to accuse somebody of without having any type of adequate proof, right? Or anything. Like, you really has, the only thing he could say is, oh, the guy was strong and I got knocked out. But then you also counter that, like I said, by saying you're not big, you know, really big enough for a super middleweight. So a little bit all over the place, but let me know what you guys think. He accused David Morrell of being on that stuff. I thought David Morrell looked good, so until otherwise proven or until something else comes out from this, I gotta just call it a certified KO. You got KO'd by the better man and the superior fighter. Case closed. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.